Southwest Florida's news leader. This is Wink News Now at 6.
It was breaking news last night at 6, and tonight jurors with a front row seat are told not to pay attention to this. An accused killer backhanding his attorney.
We just found him laying there dead, and he prescribed 3 different pain pills for him at one time.
As a doctor awaits his fate on pill mill charges, a mother whose son was killed by those very pills speaks only to Wink News about her heartbreak.
It shows that I have been late 3 months.
A local woman pays off her furniture on time and in full. So why is she still getting bills? New at 6, with her credit in shambles, she turns to call for action to make it right. Also new at 6.
I have no allegiance to him at this point, and he's embarrassed the agency, he's tarnished the badge.
That is Sheriff Mike Scott reacting to our top story tonight. A Lee County deputy accused of driving under the influence.
And the charges don't end there. Robert Burns has the exclusive details.
Well, according to an arrest report, we're talking impaired driving, hitting a parked car, all while off duty and driving a marked cruiser. Today, that deputy's boss held nothing back, saying he may be looking for a new job pretty soon.
Assuming it is what it appears to be, he won't be with us. It's just that simple.
A strong penalty could come for the Lee County deputy arrested for driving under the influence.
This type of behavior is not expected or tolerated of the general citizenry, nor will it be tolerated of a Lee County Sheriff's Office employee.
Florida Highway Patrol troopers arrested 31-year-old Patrick Milosevic Wednesday night. Witnesses say the 7-year veteran was swerving in and out of his lane in North Fort Myers while driving a marked patrol unit. They say he then hit a parked car at a Walmart parking lot in North Fort Myers and continued driving.
What this deputy did is completely out of the realm of any way, shape, or form would I even try to excuse it or sugarcoat it. It's just not going to happen.
According to an arrest report, the driver stood up and almost fell over, stumbling to his right about 4 steps before he was able to stand still. And Milosevic continually swayed front to back and slurred his words, and his speech was mumbled. After failing a field sobriety test and when asked for a breath sample, the deputy is quoted saying yes, and that it was all a big mistake. Those test results were negative, but when asked for a urine sample, Milosevic flat out said no.
I have no allegiance to him at this point, and he's embarrassed the agency, he's tarnished the badge.
The deputy was arrested, and now his job is on the line. Sheriff Mike Scott says he won't waste time making a decision.
I have nothing to say to him. He knows what the next thing he hears from me is going to be.
Well, that deputy does have a court date set for the end of the month. At this point, he is on paid administrative leave. Live in the studio, Robert Burns, Wink News Now.
You know, we're human beings, and we need to get, we make a mistake, we move on. And hopefully it won't happen again.
Developing at 6, Punta Gorda city manager is talking about a pretty serious complaint against the police chief. One of the chief's employees is accusing Chief Butch Arnold of sexual harassment. Ryan Kruger tells us what happened behind closed doors and how the city is handling the allegations.
Christy Arnold, the police department's public information officer, says Chief Albert Butch Arnold sexually harassed her multiple times. In a complaint to the city manager, Arnold says in a March staff meeting, Arnold called her a homosexual. When one of the lieutenants pointed out that Arnold was getting married, the chief allegedly said, "That's just a cover." I stopped by the police department this afternoon to speak with Chief Arnold about these allegations, but I was told he's out of the office due to surgery. In an emailed statement, Arnold told Wink News it would be inappropriate for him to comment, particularly when the matter was resolved more than a month ago. City Manager Howard Koenig says the city takes the allegations very seriously.
Not acceptable. And when we get wind of incidents like this, we handle it quickly. We hopefully handle it appropriately. It's not something we tolerate.
According to letters we obtained from the city manager's office, Chief Arnold characterized the comments as banter and said the matter has been resolved. Arnold tells the city manager, "I further explained that such persiflage would not occur again and would not be tolerated by any member of our leadership team." In Punta Gorda, Ryan Kruger, Wink News Now.
Now, in an email to us this afternoon, Christy Arnold says she can't say if the matter is resolved. She says she hasn't spoken to Human Resources or the city manager since her initial meeting with them 2 months ago.
On the fire watch at 6, 20 acres went up in flames in South Fort Myers today, south of Fiddlesticks, just north of Alico Road. Our Wink News Skycam captured thick plumes of smoke rising in the air. This is all the way from downtown Fort Myers. Right now, the fire is 100% contained. The cause is under investigation.
Fire destroyed a Cape Coral home this afternoon at Southwest 11th Avenue near the southwest corner of Pine Island and Skyline. Firefighters say there were no hydrants near the home and they resorted to water stored on their trucks to put out this fire. No one was home at the time except for a German Shepherd who firefighters resuscitated. No word on how the fire started.
It is happening. We have been anticipating late day showers and thunderstorms on this day, and we are watching that happen very rapidly from Charlotte through Lee into Collier County right now. We're watching areas go from very dry to very wet in 15 minutes time. Port Charlotte, this one is right by the Myakka River, and you can see some very heavy rain falling there. Watching this line extending through Lee County from near and east of San Carlos Park, South Fort Myers, parts of Cape Coral with rain right now. These are still developing. They are only going to get taller in the sky. The rain will be heavier. There will be lightning involved as these mature into thunderstorms. Already a thunderstorm here in Collier County from near Alligator Alley northward. Lightning strikes in the vicinity of Golden Gate Estates. Keep it right here for frequent radar updates.
All right, thank you, Jim. Right now, the fate of a Lee County doctor is in the jury's hands. Dr. Ephraim Aguilar is charged with sending patients away with thousands of pain pills a month. One grieving mother says her son was a patient of Dr. Aguilar's until the day he died. Now she wants justice. David Bowden was the only reporter who spoke to this mother. And David, I guess she's anxiously waiting for a decision in this case, right?
Absolutely. Frankie Ivy says her son was suffering from severe back pain, and he went to Dr. Aguilar for help. He says that he became addicted to the powerful painkillers that the doctor was prescribing, and he ultimately overdosed on those drugs.
I'm here because of my son. He passed away October of '06.
Frankie Ivy says her son was a patient of Dr. Ephraim Aguilar. Ivy has been following the trial very closely. She says hearing that the doctor prescribed patients thousands of pills does not surprise her. She says her son was taking 3 separate pain medications, all prescribed by Dr. Aguilar.
We found him dead. I mean, he was by himself, and we just found him laying there dead.
She says since that time, she's been waiting to see the doctor in court.
Like everybody else, I went through hell because he was my youngest. I had 2 sons, and he was my youngest one, and he was 39.
And Frankie Ivy is upstairs in the courtroom right now as the jury continues their deliberations on the guilt or innocence of Dr. Aguilar. We're going to continue to follow this story and bring you the latest developments as they become available. For now, we are live outside of the Lee County Justice Center. David Bowden, Wink News Now.
All right, David, thank you. New details are pouring out of a death investigation in North Fort Myers now. Just before 7 this morning, deputies responded after reports of shots fired and found 2 dead bodies at a home on Teasdale Drive. A third person who was injured fled to a home on Sandberg Drive, less than a quarter mile away. That person was taken to Lee Memorial, treated for injuries. No word on the extent of those injuries or how they happened, but deputies say this is an isolated incident. Neighbors, though, are still shaken.
I can walk across the backyard. My neighbor, I saw the police cars, and I think there were 2 bodies laying on the ground.
Tonight, deputies are not releasing the identities of those who were killed or the person who survived.
We have new information tonight in a deputy-involved shooting. Investigators say Jimmy Matthews is the suspect who was killed Wednesday night by a Lee County deputy. Matthews allegedly led the deputy on a chase from North Fort Myers to Lehigh Acres. When his car stopped, a struggle ensued and shots were fired. The deputy was shot in the hand. He's okay. Matthews died on the scene. Right now, another suspect who was in the car sits in jail. A third suspect is still on the run.
An accused killer attacked his attorney and deputies tackled him to the ground. You'll see it right there. It was the latest in an already bizarre case, all caught on camera. And despite Brian Casey's violent outburst, the judge decided to continue that trial.
At a special hearing, the judge said a mistrial would only reward Casey for his disruptive behavior. Stephanie Susskind is live from the Lee County Courthouse with what yesterday's twist means today.
Yeah, that outburst, just the latest one coming from Brian Casey. Now, the jury is out for right now, out on recess. They adjourned about an hour ago. But just before that, the victim's wife actually took the stand. She called the 2 men acquaintances. All of this without Brian Casey in the courtroom, so things moved a little faster this afternoon. It's the kind of scene you hear about but rarely see. A defendant reaches out and hits his lawyer. That's why accused killer Brian Casey entered the courtroom this morning in shackles and a suicide jumpsuit.
What do you mean, what's my position? I'm naked in your courtroom with no attorney and no fair trial.
This was just the latest outburst from Casey in the murder trial against him for the 2010 death of Ryan Vanderson.
You're going down. That's what he said to me.
Mr. Casey, I'm conducting a hearing.
Sorry.
Please conduct yourself accordingly.
After Casey's brief appearance this morning, the trial went on with him watching on closed-circuit TV in a holding cell.
It would be a total manipulation of our system. I will not allow that to occur.
The prosecution called multiple witnesses, including Vanderson's wife, just a short time ago. She said the two men were acquaintances. She also identified some of her husband's belongings found inside Casey's home.
Yes, I recognize the purse, the wallet, the necklace that Linda had given me with the cross, the watch that my father had given me for my birthday, a Tiffany's bracelet that my cheerleading girls had given me, and also another bracelet that was given to me as a gift from an ex-boyfriend.
And those items were in your home on October 15, 2010 in the morning?
Yes, they were.
As you heard there, some of those items belonging to Patty Vanderson herself. Those are all items that the prosecution says were found at Brian Casey's home. Now the trial will resume Monday morning at 9:30. Live at the Lee County Courthouse, Stephanie Susskind, Wink News Now.
Well, take a look outside, but be careful because a couple of thunderstorms are forming. You should be able to see dark clouds if you are in Charlotte, Lee, Collier County, and the more populated neighborhoods. This is a developing line of showers and storms. We'll be back with that on SkyTracker Doppler HD coming up.
After months of battling with her credit card company about a balance she paid off, one local woman turns to Wink for help.
I hang the phone up and I'm either crying or shaking like a leaf. I've been very upset just because I've not known what to do about it.
A call for action stepped in to make it right.